Podcast. I am your host, Shinji. This is number 37 of the year. How's everyone doing today? We got a fantastic show for you today. But I do need my water. All right, let's see who's here today. So let's see. By the way, first of all, make sure to let me know if the stream quality is suffering or if you can't really hear me or if the music's too loud or whatever. Just let me know. Let me make sure everything's good on my end. Yep, everything looks good over here. So let me know if anything looks funky or whatever. Let's take a look at chat. Golden Wolf, how you doing, man? Welcome to the live stream. Got Y2K Anonymous. We got Crypto Bagel. We got CPPC Tech. How you doing? How is all y'all doing? I never seen you guys here this early before. Thanks for coming by, guys. So we got an interesting show for you guys today, as you can tell by the very horribly spelt title, which I did that on purpose because, you know, when you spell something wrong, people have to correct you, and that gets engagement. No, I didn't do that on purpose. I don't know how to spell. That's going to be my excuse. So by our title today, we're going to be talking about the Horseless Charage and AI with self-driving cars and how that's all related, especially when I get to the story about elevators. So before we go again, good quality music is a hair loud. Oh, is it? Okay, I will lower it by 5 decibels. Yeah, let me know if that's good. All right, I just fixed the background music to 5 decibels, or maybe I'm a hair too quiet. Let me check. Nope, I am not peaking. Yep. I got my Go XLR mixing this correctly, so I don't peak or anything like that. So yeah, let me know if that is better on the music. We're gonna get started here. So why am I talking about the Horseless Charage? Okay, guys. So as you guys all know, back in the good old days when we barely had electricity, we had carriages and horses. So the horses drew the carriages. They pulled the carriages, and there was an operator, a rider, whatever. Or that was your primary form of transportation if, you know, you were rich and all those other things. Oh, better lowering music. Voice is good. Okay, I'm glad that it's good. HD Matthew, welcome to the live stream. You know what day it is? I do not know. Let me know in live chat. So anyways, guys, the Horseless Charage, right? The original carriage was drawn by a horse, okay? Or an ox or some other animal sometimes. But most commonly, as we know them in history, it was a horse of many different kinds, especially here in America when we first got started, right? So why I'm talking about the carriage and why is that related to self-driving cars? So here's the relation, guys. When you see a car that is self-driving, as in the driver's not touching the wheel at all, or they may not even be a driver in the driver's seat, right? And you saw that thing rolling down the street, you're on the sidewalk, wouldn't you like double take and look at the car, be like, that's weird. I don't see a driver in the driver's seat. There's passengers in it, but no one's driving the car. That thing freaks me out. I'm going to stay away from it. I'm uncomfortable. That's weird. I don't like it. You know, all that stuff, right? And understandably so, with several people that have been, unfortunately, you know, lives that have been ended because of this technology, of the software malfunctioning, it not recognizing people, even like, you know, getting in many accidents. It's very understandable. So when they made the Horseless Charage, as in a carriage, a car carriage, horse-drawn carriage that was moving without a horse, guess what people did? They got freaked out. Exactly. So the very first non-horse-drawn carriages, what they had to do was they had to take a artificial horse head and stick it on the front of the carriage in order to not freak people out. Because just like today, when you see a car without a driver in the driver's seat, it freaks people out. So that is what I'm coming to with the relation with the horse-drawn carriage. Obviously today, we don't have horse-drawn carriages, right? I mean, it would be stupid. Why? I mean, okay, not stupid. Let me apologize. It's not as efficient as a horse or as a vehicle, not as convenient, you know. A lot of people don't want to know or learn to raise a horse. It's actually cheaper nowadays to just get a cheap car, right? All those things, all these advancements in technology, which has made the car better. And not to mention like the distance you can travel without, you know, causing any injuries to the horse and all that. You can go really far in a gasoline powered car. So with advancements in technology, there's always going to be that time where people are afraid or upset or it is kind of uncomfortable. Just like the horse-drawn carriage with no horse in front of it was freaking people out. This thing was moving all by itself, seemingly. Let's take a look at chat real quick. Let's see here what we got going on. Gundy stuff and things. Oh, hey, how you doing, man? I haven't seen you in a while. Thanks for coming by, bro. I'm glad you're here. How you doing? HC Matthew says it's my birthday. Oh, wow. Are you finally 17 or 15? I don't remember. You're kind of young. Let's see. Happy birthday. Yes, happy birthday, man. That's great to hear. Welcome and wonderful birthday to you. CPP Tech says more horsehead. Maybe I should wear a horse head and drive. That will freak them out. You know what? That might be a really good... You know what, CPPC Tech? That is a very good analogy that I might actually use in the video. I'm actually going to write that down because that is a very good relation. Wear horse head while driving. I'm going to write that down because that is really good, and that gets to the point of what I want to do in one of my videos when I talk about autonomous vehicles. That's great. That will freak them out. See, Tech says, but have you ever seen a horse driving a Tesla though? No, I have not. That would be interesting. Techman TY, welcome to the live stream. How you doing, man? Techman TY says it's all fun and games until the car tries to pass through a wall. Yes, it is all fun and games until. In fact, many times the car actually has crashed. There's that one tragic incident where the Tesla actually drove right into the side of a truck, like a tractor-trailer truck, and actually submarined under the truck and chopped off the dude's head and killed him instantly. At least it was quick, right? That is very true. So just like how we have issues with cars today, a lot of people were against transitioning to the horseless carriage back in the day. In fact, there was many a campaign and propaganda to basically say why this is dangerous. Because you got to also remember, the first horseless carriages were typically one-wheel drive and did not have brakes. They had to actually like low-key crash them into the curb or into the side dirt to slow them down. The very first ones did not have brakes or traction for that matter, especially in areas like New York and such where there was a lot of snow. Let's see here. HD Matthews says it's 2 a.m. here. Oh wow, that's late, man. Very late. Metric area. Soul7, how you doing, man? Thank you for joining the stream. By the way, guys, if you are wondering, Soul7 is a loyal follower. That is why he has that wonderful icon next to his name. He is a subscriber to the channel, and we definitely appreciate him here. He's also one of the mods in our Discord, which I got to plug real quick, is linked in the description. Great Discord if you guys haven't joined yet. See you there if you're not there, because we play games and all sorts of stuff as well. Let's see. Yes, Soul7 says smash that like, guys. There's only 7 people watching and 6 likes, so that means one of you didn't. So let me know who it is. Anyways, guys, so yeah, that's what I'm getting at with the horseless carriage and how that's related to AI vehicles. Now, again, let me give you yet another example how you all, especially if you're watching this, you must have electricity and modern technology, I would hope. How while you all have embraced machines and technology over humans driving cars in a sense. So now we went from cars on the road and horseless carriages. We're moving on now to cars as in elevator cars, right? The very first elevators that were invented, guess what? They were human operated. Just like our vehicles today, we operate them, okay? We tell them when to go, we tell them when to start, we tell them when to crash. We're drunk, and all these other impairments, right? Very first elevators were totally manually controlled with little to no safety features, including the feature that would detect if the door is fully closed or not, which is a critical one, which is one of the most basic ones you can think of. It's even like that on trains and trolleys. Most of them will automatically apply the emergency brakes when a door inadvertently opens not under a command. So I know of his example, when I was in San Diego, I took the trolley a lot. One time the door malfunctioned and it actually opened while we were in the car, and the brakes got suddenly applied and the train came to a screeching halt. That's by design, guys, because, you know, you don't want someone being dragged around, right? So With the elevators, the very first ones were fully manual. There was a dude inside with a little hat. He was dressed nice usually at fancy establishments that could afford elevators, right? You would go in, he would ask what floor, and he would close the door. Then he would activate the lever, and he would manually control it because it was still powered. He would control it manually to the floor. There's a lot of times and a lot of documented cases where this was a problem. People kind of going in at the last second, putting their hand in the door. Well, guess what? It didn't know whether your hand was in the door or not. And when he pulled that lever because he couldn't see or he didn't know, guess what? You're going to feel it. And if you don't take your hand out fast enough, you might go up with it until you hit the barrier of that floor. And then some bad things might happen. There's many cases where people were not fully in and halfway out, and the guy activated or accidentally activated, bumped into it, forgot to set the brake, forgot to come to a complete stop, was going through a floor and tried making it quick, and people got hurt or even killed. Many, many cases of this. Today, we have a lot of safety features, right? We have a lot of, it's basically impossible to get hurt now unless something fails, right? We have totally decided to give control over to machines. We go in, we push a button, it does everything for us. It has sensors, it's on a track, it's in an enclosed space. There's a lot of safety features to make sure the elevator stops where we want it. And all we do is press a button or even talk to it in some countries, which they have, which is very cool if you ever had the privilege. So in that situation, we've opted to essentially, if it was a car, remove the wheel, remove the brake pedals. It's just a bench seat with a dash, maybe a radio and something like that. Okay. We've taken full control away. You cannot manually, in most cases, you cannot manually actuate the elevator up and down. And in that case, it's worked out because manually activating the elevator up and down was causing issues and people to get hurt, right? So that is what I'm talking about when it comes to AI cars, when it comes to self-driving cars, right? It depends on how you see it, but I think the future will be cars that are like elevators where we just kind of get in and it takes us from A to B, and we don't really own cars. It's like a rental service or like an Uber type thing. In a lot of places, there's a good public transit system where you don't really need a car unless you're going to be leaving the city, and maybe you'll get a rental then. But I believe that's where we're headed with the automated driving and stuff. For those of you that don't know, in one of my most recent videos I released, I didn't really feature it much, but I was using autopilot, or Chevrolet's version of autopilot, while I was driving. So it's pretty cool technology, guys. It's really awesome. And that's just my 2 cents on it. Let me take a look at chat real quick because I haven't checked in a little bit. Let's see. The CPPC Tech says, I'm watching this in a payphone booth and I just pulled up on my Amish scooter. Oh, that's great. You just pulled up on your Amish scooter, huh? Is it made out of wood? That's awesome. Hey, let me ask you this, okay? This is actually something kind of interesting. Look at old-fashioned wheel bearings, okay? Look at how they made them back in like the 1800s and stuff for carriages and stuff. It's pretty interesting how they got away with it. Soul7 TekShinji Community Discord, thank you for linking it, bro. Appreciate it a lot. CPPC Tech says, you will own nothing and be happy. Yeah, I think that's from a dystopian future, actually. That's kind of unfortunate. So, speaking of that, this is where we're going to go into the next subject of the podcast, is ownership and stuff like that. So, I'm not going to really focus on this too much, but basically, we're getting to the point where everything is becoming a subscription. Now, for some things, it makes sense, right? For other things, I kind of don't want that. For example, BMW was famous for, I'm not sure if they actually went through with it or not, because I actually haven't read that article completely yet, and it's been a few years. But BMW was famous for saying, yes, you can buy this car, and yes, it has heated seats, but you need to pay a monthly subscription to activate them. So I'm not a big fan of paying for something as a subscription that doesn't require anything attached to it if I already have it. So like printer, I already have the printer. Why do I need to buy a network card, right? I mean, okay, that's a bad example. like a car. If I have a car, why do I have to pay for stuff I already own, right? A lot of, like, for example, I'm gonna get into this part in a moment, but with Activision, right? The games, all the games you buy online, in the end user license agreement, if you look very closely, on like a very big majority of them, like 90% of them, it says you do not own the game. You have the privilege of playing it, but you have no ownership whatsoever. That copy is not yours. You are essentially buying a license for the privilege of playing the game. Very unfortunate. Remember the days where you could just take a game cartridge out and give it to your friend, he could borrow it? That market's all but disappeared with DLCs and downloadables. Let's see. BMW heated seats, did they? Yes, they did. CPPT Tech says, there's a video I'll send you that shows some insane vehicle subscriptions. Mercedes has some and they are wild. Yeah, Tesla's getting known for it. In fact, my modern car has a subscription and I quite hate it, but I can justify to myself a tiny bit, just a tiny bit. CPPC Tech, why don't you at me in the Discord and link me the video there, because you can't link videos in live chat on YouTube. It's like a security feature. Just link it to me there in the Discord. So my car, so I actually have a subscription that allows me to do things like this. So it's gonna be kind of hard to show, but you can kind of see right there. I've named my car the Truth and Reconciliation, right? See the lock, the remote start, and the alarm. I can do all of that from my watch, right? I can remote start my car anywhere in the world from my watch, and it does have a data plan and all that. So it's kind of convenient. It's nice to where you wake up from bed and it's freaking cold outside. It's like 0 degrees, negative whatever. I can just wake up and go like this, and my car is remote started. And by the time I'm brush my teeth, get my clothes on, and all that other stuff, get my coffee, by the time I get to my car, it's fully warmed up. Yes, I can also do it on my phone, and I don't have them with me, but yeah, I could just take out my keys and press the button. This is really convenient when you want to let other people in your car without giving your keys and stuff like that. It's very convenient. Now, this does need a secured server somewhere with encryption and technology to make sure that no one can just start my car, only I can, right? So I understand the fee. What I did was I paid for the 1-year subscription, and that equates to about $9 a month. So for about $9 a month, that gives me the privilege to remote start it from anywhere in the world, from my smartwatch or my phone, or even online. I could just log in online and start it. Some security risk, maybe, but every modern car has a link to the internet in some way, shape, or form at some point. Mine just happens to have a modem built in, so it's always connected to the cellular network. Let's take a look in chat. What? I thought subscribing for remote start was dumb enough. Yes, it is pretty dumb. Yeah, I mean, it came with it for like free for a couple of months, but then it ended and I got kind of used to it, and I'll be the first one to admit I absolutely hate it. I don't like paying for stuff, especially if I already own it. But going through the internet, securing a server, I get all that, and for me at least, I'm very fortunate enough to where I can afford that, and I'm not trying to like first world problems or whatever. But yeah, I'm in full agreement with anyone here that thinks that's ridiculous. I just happen to like the ability to do it, and you might say that I am part of the problem. It is people like me that is supporting this, but just like your phone subscription and other things, you get used to some conveniences that companies have to have or offer in life, and just happens, I guess. But anyways, so moving on, that is the last part I want to talk about. So the Super Cruise feature in my car actually does have a subscription attached to it. I'm not paying for it right now because it's free for the first 3 years. And you might go, Shinji, you really gonna pay for it after 3 years? I might. Let me explain. So my drive to work, part of the reason why I got this car, I did a ton of research before I bought it, okay? Part of the reason why I got this car, The heck, I can't see my audio levels. It's weird. I hope you guys can still hear me. I don't know if this is... Yeah, let me know if you can still hear me. Yeah, you can still hear me. I just did a double check. Looks like everything's fine. Yeah, so... where was I? Oh, yeah. So the route to my work... 80% of my route, I do not have to touch the wheel whatsoever if it's a clear day and everything's fine. And in the morning and in the evening, it's quite convenient, okay? I can just press the Super Cruise button. I still have to pay attention to the road every couple of seconds, but I can catch up on, you know, subscriber comments. I can check email. I can have my coffee. The best part is when you're on a long road trip, you can eat. Like, you can eat your food without having to put your hands on the wheels every 5 minutes. You still got to look forward and pay attention because the car is detecting that, but it's very convenient. And to me, that's worth the $29.99 a month. That's right, guys. It's $30 a month 3 years from now. Not right now, obviously. I would be outraged if I had to pay for that off the back. Because if that's the case, I'm just going to buy a Tesla and pay the upfront fee, and then that's it. At least that's the way I see it. All right, so let's see what chat has to say. Subaru is $10 a month. Oh, so you have a subscription on your car for remote start? Is it the... So let me ask you this. Is it the only option? That I don't like. So I can start it with the keys, which is, you know, free. There's no charge for that. But if I want to go further away, like the building I work in is EMI shielded, so no keys are going to work. But it does have Wi-Fi, and I could connect to that or cell or something like that. You will continue to pay for it because you will have forgotten how to drive by that. Oh man, dude, epic burn. Yeah, epic burn. So let me give you a thought. How many people do you know that know how to drive a manual car, right? Like stick shift, like manually shifted. Okay, now let me ask you, how many of those cars can you actually buy that's more than that's not, you know, old, that's not from the early 2000s, 10s, right? How many of those cars can you actually just buy that are like that, right? So as features get better and cars get better engineered and things become cheaper, they're going to become standardized to the point where they are just replaced, right? It's very difficult nowadays to buy a strippy manual shift car because they only make like 5 of them, right? Oh, you can have this car as low as $20,000, but we're only going to make like 5 of those models. The rest of them are the $40,000 model, you know? So car companies aren't really encouraged to make the work truck, so to speak, the one that's just a strippy truck. Those are kind of hard to get, in my opinion. I've looked for a car recently, and it was very difficult to just get the bottom of the road tier, especially for the cars I wanted. But the premium tiers are a lot easier to get, and they're a lot more available. Could also be because they cost more and there's a lot less demand for that. But, you know, it is what it is. What I was trying to get to was, as features get better, usually technology gets improved and they start phasing things out. For example, how often have you all parallel parked yourself? Now, find people that are like just starting to drive now. Unless they live in the city, they're not going to really have to parallel park very often, right? So that is a skill that's going to probably get worse and worse as time goes on, and most cars get that feature either standard or built in as a selling point, because guess what? The car that gets you from A to Z, any car can do that, right? Almost any car can do that. How it gets you there, your comfort level, and the features are what you pay for these days. And of course, there's plenty of competition. A lot of people want, you know, the best of the best, so to say. Let's take a look at chat. Let's see, where are we going? Techman TY says everything will glow green soon. May not need cars anyway. Glow green. Oh, do you mean like Soylent Green? I'm not. Or do you mean like how they're making everything electric and taking away our gas cars or something like that? Because I don't like that. I am a big fan of choice. I think the markets will decide that, and if people want to buy those type of cars, it should be their choice, not some government entity making it, you know, a forced thing. I really don't think that's the way to go, because that's artificial. It doesn't really reflect what people want. Crypto Bagel says stick shift motorcycles are my favorite. You know, okay, so I've actually never never ridden a motorcycle that is fully manual. I've ridden one that has like a fake fake transmission where it's electronic. There's no clutch. I've ridden ones that are fully automatic, and electric ones too. But I never ridden one that had a manual transmission. I know, like, what, your left foot's the clutch, right, and your right foot's the back brake or something like that. I don't know, but I heard they're pretty cool. No, sorry, you're not your left foot. Your left hand is the clutch. That's right. I'm starting to remember now. All right, let's take a look at chat, guys. Tegman DY says hard to drink coffee, smoke a stogie, and eat a burger in a stick shift. Dude, if anyone... Okay, so let me tell you a quick story. So my older brother, he drove stick shift for years, okay? His favorite car was a Subaru, and I think he still has a Subaru. No, he doesn't. He actually changed to a Clarity electric car. You know, not saying anything, but I got one before him, you know. Anyways, so he drove a stick shift for years, and he would drink and eat and smoke while he was driving a stick shift. So he would tell me like the whole process of what he would do while he was driving. And it's just like, okay, that's ridiculous, but your brain can multitask like crazy. That's pretty awesome. Just saying. Tegman TY says correct. I see it on the road. True, possible. What, you talking about the green thing? I guess I'm not sure what you're talking about. Technically, yes to me. Tegman TY is the best eating foe. Ha! So he says the best is eating pho while driving stick. Okay, look, okay, you know what, maybe I should put that in a video because I love pho. I love pho noodle. I would love to eat pho while driving, but not a stick shift. That would be incredibly difficult. That would be very, very difficult to do. Techman CPPC Tech says I parallel park kind of often and I hate doing it. Yeah, exactly. I don't like doing it either, and I actually like always get it wrong. Like, I just know I suck and I get it wrong, so I don't even try to get it right. I just get close and then I nudge myself in. It's a lot easier. So my car, you might call this a crutch or whatever, I did buy like one of the top tier packages, so it comes with a 360, like, it looks like there's a drone over your car. It comes with a 360 camera, so it's a lot easier to parallel park with that. The biggest problem with that is the depth of field perception is pretty off, so it's hard to tell how close things actually are until they come into frame of view. CPPC Tech says this green, nuclear green. Ooh, dude, miniature nuclear batteries are really... Okay, so we have a big problem in our country and the rest of the world with nuclear waste, right? They have come up with ways to take that nuclear waste and make them into micro batteries, like that give very little power but last for 20 years or something. I think that's gonna be a really good use for nuclear waste in the future. If we can somehow make that better, like imagine a AA about this size, right, that lasts for a year, okay, giving out full amperage. Like, that would be pretty cool, right? And we got a lot of nuclear waste just sitting around. The only options we have are really to put it underground in a cast and store it for the next 1,000 years, or fire it at the sun. That's all we can really do with it. Crypto Bagel says, I have to think ahead when driving a stick while doing other things at the same time. Yeah, I mean, you definitely got to segment your brain and think about that. It's quite difficult. So there's, as to my knowledge, there's no commercially available stick shift electric car. There was, I might have opted for it because, you know, I could just pretend to shift or pretend to not because it's electric, right? It's got a planetary gear set that does, you know, torque reduction. It doesn't actually shift any gears, because it's one other beautiful thing about electric cars. You don't really need a full-blown transmission with, you know, overdrive, 5 gear sets, none of that. So that does actually save a significant amount of space. Okay, guys, so I'm going to move on to the next subject here after I catch up with the chat. This one's not going to be that long one. I was going to keep it around 30 minutes. After this is done, I will be in the Discord. You're probably playing some video games if you guys are around or whatever, or just generally hanging out. Let's take a look at chat real quick. Crypto Bagel says, doesn't a lithium AA battery claim to last a few years? But they really don't. No, so actually I have props. So I'm gonna go over here. Alright. So there was a point in my life where I was using a lot of accessories that were standard battery sizes, like fire alarms and things like that. And when I used to be a landlord at a different apartment I lived at, I got sick and tired of the let me rephrase that. I thought it would be more efficient, instead of just replacing the batteries when the residents would tell me they would beep, I simply bought lithium 9-volt batteries, right? You can see that there. These are real. These are genuine. I checked. I would buy lithium 9-volt batteries, and these in fire alarms would last like years, okay? I basically put these all in, and I never got a single complaint about fire alarms chirping. So these, the advantages of these lithium cells. So here's like a AA cell, right? You guys all know the AA cell. So the advantages of these of these lithium batteries is the shelf life. Okay, I got this probably about 5 years ago or so, and look at the expiration date on that. You guys see that? It says December of 2039. Yep, 2039. And what's the expiration date on this one? I'm not sure, actually. Oh, here it is, 12/29. These are significantly older because I got these much earlier in my time. So you see, it says December of 29. So these things, what the main advantage of lithium batteries is that they have a very long shelf life. The chemicals inside, the way it's designed, it is designed to last for a very long time. And yes, they technically do carry more density of energy, of amp hours, but unfortunately these are all disposable and they can't be recharged, at least not normally. Yeah, if you try recharging these, you'll have a fire or something more catastrophic. So the main advantage of lithium was its shelf life. If you need a go bag or something that takes regular batteries, throw some lithiums in those devices, and if you don't have an apocalypse in the next 10 years, just rechange them out, you know what I mean? By the way, guys, this is actually Kirkland Signature Cold Brew, and that stuff is like a drug in a can. It's so powerful. Like I drank a whole can and I was wired. It has 225 milligrams of caffeine per can. That's a lot, at least for me. I'm more about the flavor, more about the deliciousness of coffee. I grind my own beans and all that. I'm not a coffee snob, so to speak, but I do like good coffee. And this stuff, it just tastes like they took like pure caffeine and just like injected it in there. It doesn't really have that much flavor. It is a Colombian blend, but be careful when you get it. It's very strong. Very strong. Golden Wolf says, yeah, plug me. Yeah, plug me. I'll be your incredible nuke Hulk. Oh, really? I would love a Hulk. Golden Wolf says, nuclear battery, LOL. Yeah. Crypto Bagel says, nuclear battery reminds me of something from Fallout games. I don't really know that much about Fallout. I just, I chose to blow up the town and I never played it after that. Nuclear, let's see, Golden Wolf Crypto says, why can't they just put solar on car roofs and drive to work fully charge the car already? I can actually get into that quite a bit. I know a lot about that. I actually researched that. I've had the same question. I'll talk about that in a moment. Golden Wolf says, and when they light on fire, they're like thermite, LOL. Yeah, so lithium fires are very dangerous to put out. You actually need a class D, as in Delta, fire extinguisher to put them out. It's designed for burning metals such as titanium. Don't ask me how I know about it. I've had to deal with it. It is quite... Imagine trying to put out a fire that will not go out no matter what you do. How much water, how much dry powder chemical, it won't go out. You need a class D fire extinguisher for like titanium or magnesium fires. It is frightening because they don't... like paper burns at like a couple 100 degrees. Titanium and all these other metals, they burn at like thousands of degrees and underwater, and like You bury it with sand, it won't go out. It's crazy stuff. So let me actually get into that, about why we don't see cars with solar panels on the roof or on the hood, okay? So, yes, theoretically, you can take like a flexible solar panel membrane and just paste it onto the roof or the hood of the car and wire that into the electrical circuit. In fact, if you have something like a minivan, right, you could probably put up to 400 watts of solar on that thing. So if it's parked, you know, and you get the average 4 to 5 hours a day, okay, so 4 times 4, that's 1.4, 4 times 4, yeah, 1.6 kilowatts of power, which I will admit is not a lot, but that is essentially getting like almost 4 miles of range for absolutely nothing, for free. At the very least, it's a float charge and it won't make your battery go down at all from conditioning or whatnot, right? That's enough to start a precondition on most vehicles. So the reason why they don't do it, okay, so you guys gonna hate this, but this is the exact reason. Why? I don't like how it looks. It's weird. It's different. I'm not gonna buy it. That is the main reason why they haven't integrated solar panels and stuff like that, photovoltaics, into car roofs and such, because it has been some stupid survey, whatever, but two-toned cars that come in 2 different colors that are in not normal spots, such as the hood or the side, you know, pillars and stuff, have been proven to like not sell as well. And that is the main reason why they're not doing it, because now you're going to get this car with this ugly black thing, ugly bluish black color thing on the roof. And that's the main reason. It's the selling thing. They're afraid that's going to cause issues with sales and stuff, and which I totally get, because most people are, guess what, visually based. Okay, there's a lot of things in our lives that we care about. They're bright orange and shiny, right? Ooh, we like it, we buy it. But if it's like a dull gray, we don't want it. Or if it's a really, you know, sexy matte black like this, you know, we like it, right? How things look really matter a lot when it comes to sales and marketing. The second reason why they don't put solar panels on cars is because of structural issues. So, I can't quote this. You gotta have to go look it up. But the National Highway Safety 2 blah 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 has like certain specifications and parameters and certain angles of the hood and stuff. And with the level of strength that they would need to put in if they made the whole hood a solar panel, it would just cause a lot of engineering issues. And once you get something spec'd in, it takes an act of Congress to spec it out or change it. That's why when they make a new model year car, it's usually pretty close to the last year's. They just did some cosmetics that don't affect the safety or structural components of the car whatsoever. They usually add a sticker pack, change its colors, or change how it looks slightly. That's because to change anything structural or major or integral to the car takes like a lot of work, and it takes a long time to get it certified. So Techman TY says the biggest thing you need to know, 740 watt equals 1 horsepower. No charging, no changing that. Yes, you are absolutely correct. That is, I don't know if that's the exact number, because I just don't know. I'm going to assume you're right here. But yeah, the watt, the amount of energy, the amount of units used to make power is not something that'll ever change, because the law of conservation, right? What is the law? The law of something. I forget what it was, but energy can be neither created nor destroyed. It is always converted to something else. Like gasoline is energy, right? When we light it, it just converts to a different form of energy, which is heat and light, and combustion, other chemicals. Excuse me. Okay, yeah, so that's the major reason why we don't have solar panels on top of cars. And yeah, I know it's a stupid reason, but so what I want to do, they have these really nice modern flexible solar panels that have a 22% efficiency, and they're not crazy expensive. I want to put that on my car safely somehow, like stick it on the roof and somehow wire that into a battery charger of some kind. Not to charge the high voltage battery, that's just too complicated. It's not going to work. So technically on a car, the high voltage battery is dead until the mama computer, the 12 volt computer circuits, tell the high voltage battery it's safe to turn on. So you got to turn a lot of systems in the car on for safety in order to charge that. So a better way to do that is to charge like an EcoFlow Delta Pro or something in the car and let your accessories run off of that, because realistically, unless cars get more efficient with energy, it's not going to be really practical, and it's only looking like they're going to get less efficient as time goes on. For example, my car, if you saw in the recent video, if one of my mods is still here, if you can link it in live chat or whatever, I drove at 70 miles per hour and negative 14 degrees temperature in my electric car all the way down to New England Crypto's house, and I didn't make it. Okay, the energy efficiency was so bad. It was only 2 miles per kilowatt, and I got a 66 kilowatt battery in that car. Didn't get very far. But if I drove a more sane speed, right, and it wasn't so cold outside, I could get up to 3 miles per kilowatt, 2.5 to 3 miles per kilowatt, and that's a significant more amount of range. That's between 30 and 60 miles more range. That's a lot, right? It's like 2 gallons of gas. Let's take a look at chat here. Let's see. Golden Wolf says, LOL, chickens. Chickens. What are we talking about chickens, man? Did I forget something? Did I miss something? I thought I was talking about solar roofs on cars. Chickens. Maybe I missed something. Let me know. Anyways, guys, that is all. Oh, there's one other thing I want to talk about, but the stream's going kind of long and it's just me monologuing, and that's kind of boring. But the last thing I want to talk about is Xbox controllers. That's right, guys. So, the brand new Xbox controllers, the supposedly really good ones, right? They've been having a lot of left bumper issues. Actually, that's the bumper. That's the trigger. Left bumper. A lot of them have just been broken, straight up broken, brand new out of the box. And I don't know why they've been doing that or what's been going on, but someone in our Discord has changed out 2 controllers, or they're about to change out 2 controllers. They got a brand new one, and it was broken out of the box. They got another one, and it's also broken. They just found out today when they were trying to play COD with us. So it's quite unfortunate because they're not cheap, you know? Let's see. Techman TY says, Tesla with the diesel generator is the way. The way. Actually, Techman TY, did you know most modern locomotives, okay, trains, are diesel electrics? Let me explain. Most of those trains don't essentially have a transmission, or at least in the traditional sense. It's mostly a diesel generator. Yeah, that's right. It's a diesel engine, a massive diesel engine, powering a massive generator that is powering electric motor and batteries to run the locomotive. That's why when you hear them, they start cycling up for like 20-30 seconds before, then it starts moving, okay? That's how they work, the modern trains. The old trains were direct drive, yes, but the most modern trains, they're all diesel electrics, and it's much more efficient. So yes, that is one of the ways. That is definitely one of the ways. Let's see here. And Techman TY, there's actually a YouTube video of a guy making his Tesla gasoline powered. He put a gasoline generator like in the trunk, and it was loud AF, and that's how he was able to charge while driving, which is quite hilarious. Let's see here. Excuse me. CPPC Tech says, my wife's left joystick has drift now. Are you talking about your Joy-Con or the controller? My brand new Xbox Elite controller has a brand new defective joystick also. It's crunchy and drifts. Oh man. Yeah. Dude, that sucks. So yeah, I guess this is like a big problem. A lot of those controllers have issues, and like it's like a Joy-Con problem with Nintendo. I just don't understand, man, because like this controller he got was like $200. It's a nice controller. It's supposed to be like top of the line. You get the damn controller and it doesn't work. It's kind of broken. Alright guys, so that's all the topics I had here for today, and it's just a monologue of me. I got no Andrew here tonight. He's busy doing other things, so we're gonna go ahead and go to the closing portion of the stream. Thank you to everyone that has joined tonight, and we had a nice high peak of up to like 8 people watching, which is nice. I haven't had that in a while. Thank you to like all the people that were here, and remember guys, afterwards I'll be probably playing some video games in the Discord, or usually when I'm editing I stream in there and stuff as well. Let's see. CPPC Tech says it's the Elite, same as mine. Yeah, isn't that crazy? Yeah. The Elite controller, the top of the line one, you get it and it's broken out of the box or has defective parts. I just don't understand how they can get away with that. That's like, Not cool, you know. Techman TY says, off topic, you get your taxes done. Yes, I did. I got my taxes done, and I immediately took that refund check that I just got about a week ago. I actually made a tweet. If you follow me on Twitter, I actually paid off my debt. So I am credit card debt free at the moment. Just paid off a massive debt to PayPal, and I have no more credit card debt, which is a good feeling. But I also have no money because I just spent all my tax return on it. That is how it works. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Appreciate you all being here, guys, and we'll see you in the next one, guys. Have a wonderful night. Oh, what? Oh, you say, Techman, CPPC Tech says, I also sent the one back to Xbox under warranty, and they sent me back a broken. Oh my God, you have 5 of them? Yeah. So my friend is going through his second one, so hopefully he fixes that. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining the channel, guys. And yeah, that's right, guys. I am debt free, so that is a good feeling to have. Thank you for joining the live stream. Remember, guys, we'll be here same bad time, same bad channel next week at 7 o'clock. Have a wonderful night, and we'll see you in the Discord. Bye-bye.